my baby's crying, he's hungry and I need to breastfeed him. But is it okay to breastfeed in public in Japan? In this video, I want to talk about breastfeeding in Japan and whether it's okay or not okay. Born and raised in Tokyo, honestly, I have never seen anyone breastfeed in public, ever. So naturally, when I had my first son, I was wondering, where the hell do people breastfeed their babies? Whether you're going to visit Japan with your baby or you live here, I don't know, but I just hope this video can help somebody who's wondering about this. In Japan, it is a little bit of a taboo to breastfeed in public. People are quite conservative here, even with the clothes they wear. They don't really wear super showy, flashy things. Although some girls' skirts are quite short these days. Anyways, generally, especially once you have children, the women tend to wear quite baggy clothes that cover everything. So breastfeeding is thought of an act to do in private. Let me share an instance I had when my son was 2 months old. I met up with a friend. We went to a nice-ish cafe restaurant type of place. My baby was in a car seat, which you can take out of the car. And as soon as we sat down, the waitress came up to me and she said that it's forbidden to breastfeed in the restaurant. I was like, my jaw dropped and I was furious. At this point, we literally just sat down. I wasn't even trying to feed my baby or anything. Like, he was still in the car seat. The fact that this lady just comes up to me and tells me that you're not allowed to feed your baby, I was like so frustrated and I couldn't believe what she was telling me. Like, this is my right to feed my baby. She did say that you are allowed to feed the baby with a bottle, but at that time I was exclusively breastfeeding, so I wasn't holding around a bottle. The only way I could feed him was him latching on. How can you tell somebody that you can't feed your baby? Like, that's so crazy to me. Instead, you can use the designated breastfeeding room, which is across the hall. I followed the rules. I didn't breastfeed in the restaurant and I went to the private room later on. Fast forward, now my baby's much older. I do feel a little bit different. I realize that although it sounds horrible, it's just how the Japanese culture is, and many people think it's justified because almost everywhere you go you can find a private breastfeeding room or pod, and usually it's really clean, quiet, and they have a comfortable sofa and you can relax. Tokyo is so crowded with thousands of people everywhere you go. I found that having access to these private rooms were actually better for me and my baby. So I was able to kind of relax and sit however I wanted. I could feed my baby with no other distractions. In the end, I was actually quite thankful. They have created all of these places and nursing stations all around the city, whether you go to shopping malls or some train stations, zoos, museums, aquariums, big parks that you pay an entrance fee. Usually you can find nursing station. I've rarely waited. There's at least one room open. I did once have to wait quite a bit, so and my baby was like getting hungry, so I did feed him in public and I used a swaddle, just anything you have, just cover and feed your baby, and it was totally fine. I will admit that I have in restaurants and parks, but nobody ever said anything, and I also made sure that it wasn't super crowded. I could kind of, keep it a little private. Also, it's not against the law, so If you've got to feed your baby, just feed your baby. Don't worry about that. What is it like in your country? Would love to know in the comments below. I hope this video gave you a little bit of insight on breastfeeding in Japan. Tokyo is super baby friendly, kid friendly. If you want any ideas, I have other videos on places we've gone to. For a quick research, you can head over to my Instagram account linked to the YouTube profile for like quick browse of things to do in Japan, mainly Tokyo. And I hope you and your family have a wonderful time here. Thanks for watching.